Well, responding to Donald Trump's doubling of tariff rates, India's External Affairs Ministry has said that the United States has in recent days targeted India's oil imports from Russia. The statement added that India has made clear its position on these issues, including the fact that India's imports are based on market factors and done with the overall objective of ensuring the energy security of 1.4 billion people of India. It's therefore extremely unfortunate that the US should choose to impose additional tariffs on India for actions that several other countries are also taking in their own national interest. India reiterated that these actions are unfair, unjustified and unreasonable. The statement added that India will take all actions necessary to protect its national interests. Let me now go across to my colleague Jessica Taneja for more on this. Jessica, tell us the significance of this statement, especially in terms of the language used: extremely unfortunate, unfair, unjustified and unreasonable.
Correct. That's the statement from the Ministry of Spokespersons, from the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Randeep Jaiswal just a short while ago, addressing the concerns that have been made in the recent past as well, especially when the threats from the United States President Donald Trump has come into effect to suggest that there will be additional tariffs and India continues to import more oil from Russia. But this 50% now levels against what the United States has put on Brazil, which is also 50% tariff. And so far what we've seen, Gautam, is that Brazil has maintained its position. It has maintained its stance and defended its position when it comes to such severe, positions when it comes to imposition of tariffs. And as far as India is concerned, even if you recall, just a few days ago, the Indian External Affairs Ministry had also pointed out very categorically how the double standards seem to have been exposed when it comes to United States trade or Europe's trade with Russia. Particularly with Europe, if you see, they had a goods and services trade of roughly around $80 billion in the last financial year. And that speaks volumes about how this entire regime of sanctions and, these kind of threats, or these sanctions as a threat of, to negotiate potential trade deals has come into existence. It's all, of course, a larger geopolitical tectonic shift, as they say, in the India-US relations. But with these additional tariffs, India so far, as you also pointed out, has maintained its stance that it wants to ensure that the energy it imports from various countries, how diversified it is so far. And as far as United States is concerned, India has been importing more from the United States. It has seen a 50% jump, and there are estimates suggesting it could go up to 150% jump of oil imports from US, whereas the imports from Russia still stand at 38%. Significant, yes. But at the same time, if you're looking at India, which is importing 80% of its energy needs, it's certainly significant and important to cater to the audience and the domestic, needs, especially for a country like India, who is currently the fourth largest economy and is on its way to become the third largest. So that kind of development India is focused on also is completely linked to its energy needs, and how it ensures that for its various industries has been its primal concern and its priority. So certainly India would continue to tread on that path no matter what kind of threats it continues to witness in the coming days. And as you and I speak, earlier in the day, U.S. envoy, Donald Trump's envoy to Russia, Steve Witkoff, had a meeting with Vladimir Putin for a potential ceasefire, something that Donald Trump has been using as a pressure tactic for many countries, including the likes of China. But you see, in the case of China, at this point, they have extended that 90-day tariff deadline which had been imposed, and from where they were imposing 125% tariffs to 145% tariffs on each other, have now come down significantly to 30%. So there is a lot that has to be negotiated when it comes to America. And to just suggest and give our audience an understanding of how trade deals are negotiated and how complex they are, they may take years. In fact, many
Yes.
countries reach
Certainly, Jessica. That was something that India was always aware of, and India had always pursued that with the US. It's not the first time that India started negotiations with the US on a trade deal, but Donald Trump has been a man in a hurry, but not just with India, but with everyone else as well. And perhaps we're seeing some consequences of that in this case as well. We don't know if things will stay the way that they are right now, but things are just going from bad to worse at the moment. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment.